Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to your coffee times to talk about horror. And today we are going to discuss my plans, my reading plans for the month of July.
It's coffee time.
So the month of June, to be honest, has been really hard for me because I have been working a lot, like a lot of extra jobs. I've also been really busy with my normal everyday life, and we are still renovating the bathroom, still working on it every single weekend, and I have not been able to find as much time for reading as I would have hoped during the month of June. So I didn't want to overwhelm myself too much during the month of July, so I have decided I would still put up videos with my wished or desired TBR for the months, but I'm not going to be too harsh on myself if I don't finish all the books, because I am currently very busy in general and I'm struggling to find a lot more time for reading at the moment. But anyways, I'm here to let you know what I would love to read during the month of July. Together with my Patreons in the month of July, I am hosting over at my Patreon a small readathon for the month of July. So we have our own prompts, we will have our own reading sprints and all of that. So for that, I have put together a TBR pile. So I'm gonna let you know which books I will be reading for that. I will be reading Kill River by Cameron Rubrick, and I have decided to read volumes 1, 2, and 3 and do like a reading vlog reading the 3 books. So hopefully I have time for that, because I have been meaning and dying to read these 3 books. So I thought I would do a small vlog for it, and I'm really excited to finally get to read them this summer, because these are perfect summer slashers. We are in the summer of 1983, and we follow 13-year-old Cindy with her new 3 best friends that are at a summer camp, and they decide to sneak out and go rafting by the river. After a tense night lost in the woods, they find a mysterious water park, and they decide, of course, to go in, but the place seems to be like empty. And why is a water park empty in the middle of summer? That should be your first red flag that there's something wrong with this place. But anyway, they're like, we can go to all the rides we want. Everything is, empty. There's no people. We can do all we want in the park, and they're having the time of their lives. Until, of course, someone starts picking them one by one and killing them, thus having a slasher here. So that's what the first book is about. I don't know what the second or third book are about. I didn't want to read about it because it might contain spoilers. So I'm happy to be finally reading these books, and hopefully I do get to all of 3. I have Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle, which serves for the readathon with my Patreons, but it is also our monthly book that I will be discussing with the Patreons as well. So we all decided to pick this one because we all had it on our wish list and it fit the prompts of the readathon. So I'm so glad to finally read it, because I always saw some of my bookish friends on Instagram talking about it, in their stories. And I was like, I need to know if I would love this book or not. So finally, it's time for me to figure it out. All I know is about kids being sent to a very religious conversion camp. And when the kids get there, something happens and they return home changed. They don't seem to be the same. What happened to them in the camp? I don't know. I like that Chuck Tingle's books have very short descriptions on Goodreads, so you don't get too much spoiled, so you can get excited for what's to come. The Island by Sarah Brooke, and now this one doesn't have the best ratings on Goodreads, but I've had this one on my Kindle for a while. It's short, I think it's under 200 pages, and it does take place on an island, so I thought it would be perfect as a summer read. So it is an island that is getting ready to receive basically tourists, and everything is ready. People can start coming in, but there is a legend in this island that there used to be a witch in it. The legend says that the witch put a curse on this island. So now we have 3 couples that come to the island to spend their holidays there, but then of course they're gonna find themselves in danger. Lying in the Deep by Diana Urban, and this is YA mystery thriller. This is another one that I was excited about because it takes place on a cruise, and I don't read many horror books that take place like in cruises, and I think it's such a fun concept for a summer read. So Jade has been betrayed by her ex-boyfriend and her best friend, and she thinks now it's the perfect time to go on an adventure. So she goes to this ship. It's like a trip where she's gonna go through 11 countries in 4 months, and she's very excited to do it. However, she finds on that very same ship the ex-boyfriend that betrayed her with her best friend. The couple is there, and she's like, absolutely not, absolutely not. But this betrayal is put in the back burner because people are starting to get killed, and now they have to figure out who's coming for them. So this is a book about relationships, betrayal, murders, killers. Give it to me. Next I have The Lost Girls by Sonia Hartle, and this is another YA book that I got last year at Yelk, and all I know is that it's about vampires. I think this is the book that was pitched as The Lost Boys but with girls, and of course I was intrigued, and I think this cover is really cute. I know this book is queer, and I know that there is some humor in it, and I am really hoping the humor is not something that I dislike, because you guys know I don't always appreciate humor in my books, because a lot of the times it's just not my type of humor, and for me it's more of a detriment to the book than making it, you know, more fun. So sometimes it's not fun for me when it's humor in the book. So Elton turned Holly into a vampire back in 1987, and he promised her endless forever love, but then 34 years later he dumped her. Now Holly is forever 16, so the only job that she can find is a Taco Bell. But then our girl starts to meet Elton's exes. Apparently this guy has been turning girls and then dumping them for years, for centuries. And I'm guessing the girls join forces to go against him or do something to him. And if he has a little bit of like a feminist rage, I'll take it. So I'm really excited to try this one. A little bit scared as well because I don't know if it's gonna be 100% my cup of tea, but it might also be a different take a little bit on vampires, or a bit more of a modern take on vampires that I might like, and also it's potentially about revenge, and I love revenge. So those are all the books that I will be reading for this July readathon that I have going on with the Patreons. But then I wanted to add some new releases to the list because in June a lot of books that I had pre-ordered came out, and I'm still waiting for some of them to be delivered. But if they are delivered on time, then I would love to read them during the month of July. So the first one is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. I have been dying to read this book. Lately I have seen people in their Instagram stories saying how scary this book was, that they had to put it down because they were getting nightmares, and I'm like, so good, because this is just I just thought it was gonna be a regular thriller, but apparently it's supposed to be very scary. They say it's Get Out meets Parasite, and we have a couple that just bought this house, they moved there, everything is going fine, and then one day a guy comes knocking on their door and asks them if he can come in and show the house to his kids because they used to live there in the past. And you know, the new owners don't want to be rude, so they let them in, but then one of the kids goes missing, and then I believe one of the adults goes missing, and there's all of this mystery around it, and I don't want to read more about it. I just want to immerse myself into the book and see what happens. But this thing that they say is a mix between Get Out and Parasite has me really, really intrigued, because those are two amazing, quite different movies that I really enjoyed. And if people say this is so scary, I need to know. And also the book is already being turned into a movie, a Netflix movie starring Blake Lively. So when the movie comes out, I will be ready. I will be ready. Then we have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. The book is officially out, but Amazon is not giving me any delivery date. I had my pre-order with them, so if I go to the city this weekend, or if I can order it somewhere else that has it on stock, I will cancel my Amazon pre-order because Sometimes it's just BS, it is what it is, but this is a new Riley Sager mystery thriller, and of course I really want to read it. So Ethan and Billy, when they were kids, they were besties and they had sometimes sleepovers, and one night they decided to camp on their backyard and sleep on a tent, spend the night, you know, on the outside on a summer night. But then Billy went missing. Somebody opened the tent and took Billy, and he was never found again. 30 years later, Ethan returns to his childhood home, and then is when he starts to discover more and more about the truth of Billy's disappearance. And last but not least, we have Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. This is supposed to be delivered to me, I think, next Monday, so fingers crossed that it comes in time. And this is one that I'm really excited to read because, I mean, it might be a hit or a miss because it is told from the perspective of an 8-year-old girl. So it might be a very different narrative. It might be very different from what I'm used to, but I am here for the challenge. It's basically the story of a hunting, but being told from the perspective of this 8-year-old girl and this entity that she sees that she calls Other Mommy. And this entity called Other Mommy is asking her to do really, really bad things. I don't know, I'm really excited about it because it's like all this new experience, and I think nobody has done it before. I'm not sure, I've never heard of a book told from the perspective of a little kid and the whole hunting is explained from their eyes. So I don't know, I'm just really excited but scared at the same time because if it's not for me and I've been hyping it up, then I might be disappointed, but hopefully I will enjoy it. So these were, you guys, my reading plans for the month of July. Do pray for me because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have, like how much free time I will have for reading, but I'm definitely gonna try my best to read as much as I can. Let me know down below if you are reading any summer themed books during the month of July and which ones those are. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!